Stephanie, so you've had the chance to go to Tanzania on a distribution trip. Can you tell us 1 to 2 stories that were impactful during your trip there?
Okay. I probably have at least one from every distribution that we went to, but I have 2 from one distribution that were the most powerful of the week. And I know I've shared them in writing before on the Shoebox page, but I don't know that I've really told them in an interview or anything. But the first one was, we were at the poorest church that we had been to in the whole week we were there. And they had nothing. This building was just almost like an abandoned building, dirt floor. And the kids just kept coming in and coming in. And there was this one boy in particular, and I've posted his picture. I think it's my cover picture right now on the Shoebox Shoppers page. But this little boy came in and he sat down right in the middle on the little dirt floor that was covered in a tarp. And he had a little polo shirt on, a little striped polo shirt, and these dirty little shorts that didn't match. They were plaid, and it was just dirty, and there were holes in the front of his shirt. And most of us on the team that we were on, I was on the yellow team, and most of us were women and moms. And so we noticed him right away, and we went to the interpreter, and then we went to the pastor with the interpreter, and we just asked about him. And the pastor basically told us that he was homeless and didn't have any parents. I think if I remember correctly, one parent was in prison and one parent had died. And so he lived outside their church, and they did stuff for him when they could, but they don't have social services. They don't have what we have here. So, and they were poor people. So we'd all take him home, but they couldn't. And so it just broke our heart. And he was so quiet, and he didn't play the games that we played, and he didn't sing the songs that we sang. And so just didn't seem, he was so sad. And so we watched him, and we took a lot of pictures, and we were thrilled when we realized when he opened his shoebox, he was probably about 9 years old. And when he opened his shoebox, he got a brand new shirt and a brand new pair of shorts that fit him perfectly. He didn't have any shoes that day, but there were shoes in his shoebox that fit him. And he got a soccer ball and a pump. And he told one of the other team members through the interpreter that he had never owned a ball before. So while he was a heartbreaking story and it was devastating, and I think about him all the time, and I share his picture all the time so that people can see him and pray for him, because it's been 2 years now, and I wonder what he's doing. But I just also know that there's tons of people that have prayed for him. So while he didn't get everything he needed that day, he got some things that he really needed. And it was through God's love in that shoebox, and he heard the gospel. So to me, that was so encouraging, like that he actually heard the story of Jesus, and he heard about God's love. And then to finish up that day, if that wasn't like tearing at your gut already, when we got done, we would pray over the pastors for each church, because the shoebox is such an important tool for the pastors. They have reached out to these children in the community. Now they have a relationship with them, and so the shoeboxes help them to have more relationship in the future. And so we pray for their ministry. We bring a bag with some supplies for them. And at this distribution, the pastor's wife was there, and she was in the circle. And so we circled around her and him, and we put our hands on them, and we prayed for them. And I was behind her, and I had my hands on her. And while we were praying, she fell down on the floor on her knees, and she was wailing, and I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't understand her, and she can't understand me. But I kind of crouched down, and I rubbed her back, and I just prayed in English, and she cried out in Swahili. And then when we got all done, she went over in the corner, and she raised her hands up, and she just cried out to God over and over again. And we asked the interpreter, what was she doing? And she said she's thanking God for the gift of the shoeboxes. And it was so powerful, because for us, it's a small gift. It's something that sometimes we have to make sure we get and fit into our busy schedule to get out and shop for. Or, it's almost Christmas, it's almost collection week. But this was so powerful to them. It was so much more than just a $20 shoebox gift. So I think that was those 2 stories, those 2 people were the most impactful of my entire trip. We all just kind of rode the bus back to our hotel that night, just kind of speechless, because we had really seen some powerful things that day. So that woman reminds me to tell everybody all the time, keep packing shoeboxes, because it's so appreciated.